Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Lakeburg Legacies. When we left off in the previous episode, we were pondering the weight of decisions. So our original baker, Marie Bonnet, who is at this point 61 years old, she was feeling very lost in life, very confused, despite the fact that she has been working in the bakery since the very beginning of Lakeburg pretty much. She has spent an entire life here. And has, I think, had a largely successful life because she has perfect affinity with her husband Brynja, who is the mason. She has a perfect relationship with her daughter, who also works at the bakery Eloise and was her first apprentice. And then recently, her second apprentice, Bruce, actually left the bakery and decided to become a carpenter at the carpenter's workshop. So, his life direction has kind of gone in a different route to what maybe he was revving up for his entire childhood, but I think Marie largely is kind of happy for him and happy with the kind of benefits he's going to bring to the kingdom. Now, yes, she was lost and confused. She decided to wait it out, and I think that brought her a lot of peace and, a bit of devotion to her own life, and things have been quite calm. Despite the fact that another one of the struggles of working in the bakery is probably that they don't have the resources to be able to bake more bread. So I imagine a lot of the bakers are kind of sitting around not being able to actually do their jobs because we don't have enough wheat. And the reason for that is because a lot of our farmers have passed on, and we don't have farmers either moving into Lakeburg, or the population of Lakeburg isn't growing up wanting to work on a farm. So our production is very, very low at this point, and we are pretty much relying on bread and meat to get by. So yeah, we need to keep an eye on all of that. This aside, we also had the death of Valerius, so now the prank shop is empty. Yeah, our population is not very entertained. Things are a little bit rough. We do have 7 singles. I don't think we've had this many singles in a long time. But okay guys, let's go ahead and see what we can get done for the people of Lakeburg. So, first up, now Anne Frost is currently raising her little daughter, I think. Let's see, yes, Mirabelle, who's 5 years old, that she had with Valerius, and her first child, which is very, very cute if you think about it. But, where do we have it? Yes, wait, hold on. Hold on. Okay, we need to figure out the single people. So I think Anne, she's 60 years old at this point, but I think her having a partner is only going to be for the security of her daughter. It's going to be for the security of her daughter. So Anne is going to maybe ask, this is a huge age gap, I realize. Anne is 60. Bruce has just turned 18, the carpenter, but I think she's going to try asking Bruce out on a date to see how things go. Bruce is closer in age to Anne's 5-year-old daughter than he is to, Anne, but we're going to go for it, and we're going to see how this pans out. So, okay, Anne and Bruce, I think out of the two, because we only have Bruce and Oliver available, right? I feel like at this point, Oliver has a bit of history among the women. The people of Lakeburg kind of know the way Oliver goes. And I feel like if Anne were to make a decision for her daughter's betterment, she would be willing to place her bet on Bruce before Oliver. I don't think Oliver would be her first choice. So she's gonna ask Bruce out on a date. We'll see how that goes. It seems as though they don't really have a lot in common with each other. Even if she wasn't widowed and heartbroken, it seems as though they would have awful affinity like they do now, because they disagree on cuddles and public executions. But let's see how this pans out. So we're gonna go on a date. We're starting off at a boat ride on the lake. We're gonna talk about the latest clothing trends, or no cuddles before the third date. We're gonna go for no cuddles. What do you know? Bruce isn't very tactile either. It's possible to be happy without rubbing one's sweat and germs onto someone else's skin, Okay, and then we're going to the hill by moonlight because abolish the death penalty. agree with that. We'll talk about good food. We'll go with the food. Let good digestion wait on appetite. Anne and Bruce share the same taste in terms of good food. And they're discussing marriage immediately, both being infatuated with each other. So there is a bit of attraction between the two of them, which is good. But at least Bruce has lucked out in a way that he doesn't have to be out on the streets. Like, as soon as he became a young adult, he got a job as a carpenter, and he is now a part of the Frost family, a member of the Frost family, and is going to be stepfather to little Mirabelle. So good on these two. And let's see, I mean, this is going to be the only child, I think, for Anne. There is no way she's having another kid. So there's not even a situation where, like, they would raise up Mirabelle and then she could have another child with Bruce. No, I think, given that she's, 60, yeah, Mirabelle is definitely her one and only child. But okay, we have that. And now we have these folks. Now, does Eloise have history with Oliver? I think she was the last one to be married to Oliver, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. She was the last one to be married to Oliver. Now, Sapphire doesn't have history with Oliver. She's only ever been married to Pepin. Okay, Sapphire, I think, is going to try her luck with Oliver the Rat Trainer. So let's see how that goes for her. Okay, they have awful affinity, and I don't even think a lot of this would be because of Oliver being divorced, because as you can see, they seem to have an even worse relationship than Anne and Bruce, because they only had 2 things they disagreed on. These guys have 3 things. They disagree on fashion, meditation, and feasting. But hey, let's see how the date goes. Okay, they're starting off at the lake in a boat ride. We could say muscles are the true pinnacle of human evolution, or talk about the importance of cuddles in a loving relationship. We're gonna go with cuddles. Oliver's embarrassment regarding this topic makes Sapphire feel more embarrassed. Okay, we're gonna go for a drink at the tavern. We're gonna talk about attending the next public execution together, or criticize Lakeburg's countryside. We're gonna criticize the countryside. Living in this hellhole is such a bore. Oliver also hates being woken every morning by the rooster, the hens, and the flies. Okay, and yes, they are discussing marriage immediately. I think we know that Oliver is a very desperate sort of guy who I kind of feel like I get the idea that he's not really genuine with a lot of the women he's with. They are now going to be in a loveless marriage, but he is off the streets. I feel like he takes any chance he can get to, not be on the streets, and I feel like he might even kind of fake himself on these dates and be kind of agreeable with the ladies momentarily, especially women who are, maybe feeling a little bit vulnerable because of the loss of a partner, or maybe they're single parents. He kind of does whatever he has to do, basically, to get a roof. And Sapphire was actually raising Effie, I think, and she's no longer raising Effie. That's right, so she could actually have a child with Oliver. Well, now I'm curious. We only have 3 singles now in Eloise, Effie, and Melis, but I'm curious about our couples and the chances they have to have offspring. So why don't we go and check up on that, because I really want to. Really want to. And oh, this is kind of cool. Now we have, that's kind of fun. We have villages, we have like the amount of built and occupied houses down here that we can now keep track of because we have like the builder's tickets. Unless this was a thing beforehand that I never paid attention to. Must be. Maybe I'm only looking here because we have like the builder's tickets. Oh, wait, actually, this might have always been here, like in the housing panel, and I never paid attention. Fascinating. But yeah, I want to check to see what's going on. So obviously some couples, they are like way past the age of wanting or having children, so they're not going to. But I'm curious about the couples who have space and want children. Okay, so the Fitzroy family with Emelina and Hubert have an insignificant wish, so they only have a 1% chance of having a baby. The Brielle family don't want another baby. Even though they're not that old, they don't want another baby, so they have a 0% chance. Okay, this is the one we just matched up. Sapphire and Oliver, they have a wish for a family. They have a 5% chance. A 5% chance. Okay, I don't think Oliver's had a biological child. He has had so many exes. Guys, he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holy cow, he's had 5 exes. Guys, Sapphire is his 6th marriage and he's only 33 years old. Wow, this rat is scuttling, guys. This rat is scuttling. But yeah, 5% chance for them to have a child. And then the Jameson family, they have a 4% chance to have a child. This is also a new marriage. It seems as though they do want to have offspring. So that if they do have a baby, that would be Carla's 2nd child because Bruce is her first born. Yes, and Achille has never had kids. Okay, and then let's see. The Alton family, they've actually been wanting a child for a long time, and they have a 9% chance. I'm kind of surprised they haven't had a baby so far. Like, I'm actually very surprised. Also, I made declarations about Anne, and I'm kind of curious. I mean, I said it already. There's probably no way Anne's gonna have another kid because they would have to wait for Mirabelle to grow up. That's gonna be another, what, 13 years, I think? They're gonna have to wait another 13 years. Anne's gonna be like 73 at that point. I don't think they're gonna be able to have any kids. But it's interesting that, you know, if they had space, she would wish to have a kid with Bruce, but that's not gonna be a thing. Fascinating. Very, very fascinating. I like checking up on that. But we also kind of saw that we don't have any, like, stalks, no pregnancy notices that are happening. But oh my goodness, just setting up in this episode took us a bit of time, didn't it? It took us some time. But okay, let's get going and see what's happening in town. What is happening in town? Okay, hold on. So, let's see. Nathan and Marie are impressed with each other and they work with one another. I don't think they actually get along. But maybe they had some bonding time fishing over here, or maybe they both showed up here to fish on their off time and they kind of saw each other. They grudgingly decided to continue fishing and they were kind of impressed with what they caught and the way, you know, the skill set that each other kind of had. Fair enough, fair enough. How are they going in the bakery? Things are kind of neutral. Marie is still kind of the problem. So basically, you know what? I'm just realizing something. So Marie, the oldest baker we have, the most experienced member of the bakery, is the problem over here. And then her husband, Brynjar, who works at the mason's workshop and is the most experienced member there, is the problem there. They're basically perfect for each other, but they seem to reserve their kindness within the family. They're very difficult with others, like outside the family. Not good, not good. And is her daughter still the one? Yeah, Eloise is still the one who's trying to like bring everyone's moods up. Everything is just on her teeny tiny shoulders. So okay, we have a little bit of truce. A teeny tiny bit of truce over there. Ooh, iron. Ooh, we don't have enough money to increase iron stocks or to increase any wood stocks. We don't have nothing. Unfortunately, we don't have anything. Well, let's keep going. Let's keep moving and grooving and seeing what's going on here. Okay, hold on. What's happening? We've had some changes, I see. Emmerich and Nathan. Okay. So the younger generation is doing a little bit better because Emmerich and Nathan made a good impression on one another. So they might be on the path to becoming friends, which, oh look! The ambience is good because Emmerich and Nathan decided that they would try and get to know each other a little bit more. And they realized they were actually reasonable people. Look at that! That makes me happy. Now the ambience is good and that's going to help with bread production. Although, they're kind of stuck. They can't produce anything anyways because we don't have, like, any wheat. What do you mean it's abundant? We don't have wheat! You're lying. You tell me it's abundant, but we don't have meat to be making bread. Sorry, wheat, not meat. You can't make bread with meat. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but you need the wheat, you know? Okay, there's that. And then Brynjar and Malus have become rivals. So things are getting heated. Things are cooling down at the bakery. You know, the bread is cooling, but the stone is heating up. Yeah, the Mason's workshop is heating up. Malus and Brynja. It's like Brynja was like bored after not having a rival. After Theodora's death, he had no rival. And then Malus came along and he was like, you know what? I hate her. I just hate everything about her. She smiles too much. We're working with stone. What is there to smile about when you're working with stone? Brynja. Oh, Brynja. I don't know how to help you, Brynja. Okay, we still need to save up more of our gold. Still need to save up on gold. And we've had some age ups. Little baby Mirabelle Frost is now 6 years old. She looks really, really cute. Look at her, guys. She is 6 years old. And she's a hardworking little one. Even though she has clubfoot, she's hardworking. She wants to be seamstress. Look at that. So many of the kids want to be either at the bakery or at the sewing workshop, I feel. So, okay, she wants to be a seamstress. I think I'm going to get Evrad to train her. So, Evrad, you are going to be training up Mirabelle. So, that should be good. And how old is Calanth? Like, I'm just curious, you know? Calanth is 9 years old. That's kind of interesting, though, that Calanth and Mirabelle are, you know, going to be apprentices at the sewing workshop around the same time. Very nice, very nice. So that is sorted. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. See what happens in town. Keep an eye on everyone. Oh, we have, oh great. Why am I not surprised? Brynja and Malus have gone from being merely rivals to being enemies. So they're practically throwing rocks at each other at this point. We're having wastage here because they're throwing rocks at each other. And then Olive is probably having to like pick up after them. In fact, I mean, Brynja is still the worst. I feel like he's still the worst problem we have over here. Olive is barely keeping her like head together. Barely, just barely. But yikes, things are not too great on this front. Oh, and we can recruit, which is exactly what we need. We have so much wood, we could build more houses, but we need desperately to recruit more people for the kingdom. We have so many vacancies at this point. Like, we have a vacancy at the Harvester's Barn for a gatherer, at the Fisherman's Hut for a fisherman. We have 3 vacancies at the farm, 2 vacancies at the Hunter's Cabin. We have vacancies at the Treasury, the Chancellery. Obviously, we don't even have a monarch. We have a vacancy at the building site for a builder, at the prank shop for a prankster. There are like so many places that someone could end up. Let's take a look. Okay, so we have Walter, who's 19 years old, of the noble class. Oh, a gatherer or a farmer we have over here. And then we have Izor Fisher, who's 25 years old, of the noble class as well, but she doesn't have anything that we might need. Like livestock farmer, god, or assassin, not gonna help. But Walter, guys, wants to be a gatherer. Yes, please. We're gonna get Walter Lancaster. Come on in, Walter. Come on in. Okay, and apparently at this point I've recruited like 20 characters over the course of this particular game. But Walter, come to the Harvester's Barn. You are going to be the first ever gatherer that we have had in this kingdom. I hope you are able to settle in nicely. Let's take a closer look at him. He is humble, romantic, and shy, and he's smart. I don't know if we've had anyone who can genetically pass on like their smartness, but that's kind of cool. In terms of his preferences, he likes poetry, cuddles, and flowers. He's a bit of a softie. He's an intelligent guy, though. And he dislikes public executions, feasting, and the countryside. Things for barbarians. Okay, and now we are going to find him a match, and I solely hope that she's someone who can fill in another one of our, roles throughout the kingdom. Let's go ahead and let's see. We're going to have to match him and then establish a family or, give his wife a house. But okay, let's see who you have in store for you, Walter. Someone with average affinity. She looks really pretty. She's 25 years old, of the noble class. She is a social sort of gal. Pauline. She's boring, a glutton, but energetic. And let's see, Lady of the Evening, Innkeeper, and Lumberjack. We don't have vacancies there. We don't have vacancies. If she comes, she's gonna be like a backup lady of the evening, a backup lumberjack. I mean, it's okay, but it's not what I would like. I hope this date falls through. They have average affinity. She likes music, reading, and fashion, dislikes meditation, painting, and fishing. Okay, please fail. Please, honestly, guys, I kind of want this to fail. Okay, so we are having a boat ride at the lake. We could criticize the work of the realm's best painter or make fun of people more interested in their outfits than skills. We're gonna make fun of fashion. Pauline thinks you can judge a book by its cover. Bah, let's change the subject. And then we're at the inn. We could get excited about great libraries or say there's an absolutely charming fishing spot. We're gonna go with the fishing. Fishing? Ugh. Pauline is off-put by creatures without hair, feathers, or fur. And then finally, we're gonna be at the hill by moonlight. We could, let's see, make fun of meditation or say that minstrels disturb peace and tranquility. We're gonna go with the minstrels. Pauline loves minstrels, bards, and troubadours, but finds this conversation boring. Yes! It's a fail. I'm actually happy that failed. I'm excited that failed. Please give us someone who can fill one of our vacancies. Dora, can be a backup baker. We don't need another baker. Okay, Dora's 25 years old, guys, of the artisan class, has bad affinity with Walter. They have disagreements on countryside and poetry. She might be a crafty girl or a social girl. I can't get a read on her, but she is devout, humble, and shy, and robust. Oh wow, so robust is like the opposite of frail. That's gonna make you live very long because it's gonna give you plus 50 years of life expectancy, whereas frail takes away 50 years from your life. Okay, she also likes treats, divination, and dislikes muscles and dancing. Please fail. I honestly hope this fails because she doesn't have any of the, she doesn't have what we want. We already have like a backup baker. I'm pretty sure we have a backup baker. We don't need another one. Okay, we're starting off at the inn. We could denigrate the baker's treats or say the countryside is nice. We're gonna go with the countryside. Oh, darn it. Done it! Okay, guys, well, Dora's staying, apparently. Well, Walter and Dora adore the countryside. It's so vivid. They should go and take a walk around Lakeburg one of these days. And then they're gonna go to the hill by moonlight. We could abolish the death penalty or take a dancing partner to the next ball. We're gonna go for the dancing partner. Really, Dora and her two left feet blatantly prefers avoiding this invitation. And then, finally, a boat ride at the lake. We could say that muscles imply a small brain, or ask Dora for opinion on divinatory pseudosciences. Pseudosciences. We're gonna go for the divination. Dora's fortune teller had recently warned her to watch for down-to-earth people. It is a loveless marriage, but it is a match, guys. It is a gruesome match that I did not want. I am not happy. They have bad affinity. They have loveless marriage. I'm not happy with this because Dora can't help me in any way, shape, or form. Dora, like we already have Effie, you know? Like Effie wants to be a baker, Dora wants to be a baker, our baking industry cannot function without farmers. I'm stressed, guys. Can you tell I'm stressed? Okay, well, we have wood to build houses at least. So we'll go build a house. And Dora, I'm gonna change your last name. Dora Walter. Walter. No, do you want it to be Dora Walter? Her husband's name is Walter. That would be hilarious, but no, we're not going to do that. Kraus, the Kraus family, maybe? Dora Kraus? I know, it's a mouthful. Dora Shaw. Let's see, LeBlanc. Bodman. Stark, Dora Stark. Okay, we're going to have the Starks. So Dora Stark, Walter is now, this is not the Lancaster family. No, this is the Stark family. Okay, so they have married. And let's see, they have a 6% chance of having a baby. Okay. We shall keep an eye out. We shall keep an eye on that. And oh my goodness, I feel like, I don't know if we've had anyone like as pale as Dora. Like Dora, we've had like, you know, Effie, who's a bit more pinkish. We've had like, you know, Helios and Calanth, like Manon and stuff. But I don't think we've had anyone pasty. Even Emelina is not pasty. She's got a bit of a like peaches and cream sort of skin, but Dora is like ghostly pale. Like she's what I would imagine like translucent skin, you know? Wow. Okay. Well, guys, that was a bit of an experience. Definitely an experience. But we are going to wrap up over here, I think. We got a little bit of a break with the Walter working at the Harvester's Barn, but our excitement had to be cut short with the arrival of Dora. But okay guys, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.